It was a quiet night in Seattle, the kind of calm that only comes after a long, exhausting day. Rebecca Miller, a 42-year-old single mother, had just finished cleaning the kitchen and folding the last batch of laundry. Her 10-year-old son, Ethan, had gone to bed hours ago after watching his favorite space documentary. The soft hum of the refrigerator was the only sound in the house. Rebecca finally slipped into bed, pulling the blanket to her chin. Her thoughts wandered: bills, work emails, and the never-ending to-do list that seemed to chase her every day. She closed her eyes, whispering a short prayer for peace. But just as she began drifting into sleep, she heard the faintest knock on her bedroom door. "Mom," a small voice whispered. Rebecca opened her eyes, startled but not alarmed. It was Ethan. He stood at the door, holding his blanket and stuffed astronaut toy, the one he'd had since he was 5. His hair was messy, and his eyes looked tired but scared. "Sweetheart, what's wrong?" she asked softly, sitting up. Ethan hesitated for a moment before stepping closer. "Can I sleep with you tonight?" Rebecca smiled gently. "Of course, honey. Come here." He climbed into bed, curling close to her side. Rebecca wrapped her arm around him, feeling the warmth of his small body against her. For a few moments, they both lay quietly. Then she noticed something. Ethan's body was trembling. "Hey, are you cold?" she asked. He shook his head. "No, Mom, I had a bad dream." Rebecca brushed his hair from his forehead. "Want to tell me about it?" He took a deep breath, his voice shaky. "There was a big storm in the dream. You were outside, and I couldn't find you. I was calling your name, but you didn't answer." His lip trembled. Then everything went dark. Rebecca's heart ached. She pulled him closer, whispering softly, "It was just a dream, baby. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere." But Ethan didn't calm down right away. He started crying quietly, his small hands gripping her tightly. Rebecca felt her own eyes sting with tears. She remembered nights when she had felt that same fear, the fear of losing someone she loved. After a few minutes, his breathing steadied, but he didn't fall asleep. He turned his face toward her and said something that completely broke her heart. "Mom, are you happy?" Rebecca froze for a moment. "What do you mean, sweetheart? You're always tired," he said innocently. "You don't laugh like you used to." She felt a lump in her throat. Ethan had seen through her better than anyone. She had spent so long pretending to be strong, working 2 jobs, managing the house, paying bills, that she had forgotten how much her son noticed. She smiled faintly, brushing his cheek. "I'm happy because I have you," she whispered. "You're my reason to smile, Ethan." He looked up at her, eyes glistening. "Then I'll always make you happy, Mom." Those words hit her like sunlight breaking through a cloudy sky. For the first time in weeks, she laughed softly and kissed his forehead. "You already do, sweetheart. You already do." They lay in silence again, but this time it was peaceful. Rebecca thought about how life had changed since her divorce 3 years ago. She had tried so hard to keep everything together, but deep down, she often felt lonely. And yet, moments like this reminded her that love didn't always come from romance. Sometimes it came from the pure, innocent bond between a mother and her child. When morning came, Rebecca woke to the sound of birds chirping and sunlight streaming through the curtains. Ethan was still asleep, his arm draped over her. She smiled, feeling an unfamiliar calm wash over her. She gently slipped out of bed, made breakfast, and brewed her favorite coffee. For once, she didn't rush. When Ethan walked into the kitchen, still half asleep, she greeted him with a big smile. "Morning, champ," she said cheerfully. "Pancakes are ready." He grinned. "With chocolate chips." "Always," she replied. As they ate, Ethan talked about his dream again, but this time, he said something different. "In my dream, there was a light after the storm," he said thoughtfully. "And I think it meant that everything's going to be okay." Rebecca smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "You're right, Ethan. Everything is going to be okay." That night changed Rebecca more than she realized. It wasn't dramatic or magical. There were no sudden miracles. But something inside her shifted. She stopped living in survival mode and started embracing small moments of joy again. She began painting in the evenings, something she hadn't done since college. She laughed more. She started taking Ethan to the park every weekend, leaving her phone behind. One evening, months later, Ethan came home from school holding a piece of paper. "Mom, look, I wrote something for you." She unfolded it carefully. It was a short essay titled, "My Hero." Her eyes filled with tears as she read the first line. "Greater than, my hero is my mom because even when she's sad, she still makes me feel safe." Rebecca hugged him tightly, unable to speak. That simple act, her son coming to her bed one night because of a bad dream, had reminded her what truly mattered. It wasn't about having a perfect life or a perfect job. It was about love, patience, and the small moments that build a lifetime of memories. Rebecca looked at Ethan and said softly, "You've changed me more than you'll ever know." And Ethan, smiling shyly, said, "I just wanted to make sure you never felt alone." Rebecca kissed his forehead, whispering, "You never let me, sweetheart. Not even for a second." That night, as she turned off the lights, she finally felt what she had been searching for all along, peace.